I have the pleasure of talking to my shero and superwoman and inspiration to a lot of women, not only in the United States but across the world. Michelle Mckinney Hammond, who is author, producer, star, everything. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you, thank you. I've been having a great time.
You know what? It was
I never
funny.
This one would happen, but it is.
It was funny because I was looking for a book of yours that I had read a long time ago, Divanomics, and I wanted to give it to a friend of mine. So I'd gone on Amazon because she lives in Jamaica actually. And I'd gone on Amazon and I was like, let me just search for the book so I can ship it directly from Amazon. And like 40 books came up. Now I knew I knew that you had written a lot of books, but I did not know that it's like 40 books.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I'm working on another one right now. It never stops.
So for women who are looking to find their purpose, because I think that you found yours pretty early on, and you've stayed firmly rooted in the things that you're supposed to be talking about and teaching other women about. How did you find your purpose, and how have you been able to stay so true to it?
I always just stayed in my lane because I'm a happy, sanguine type of temperament, so I really can't do something unless I'm enjoying myself. And I was fortunate enough. I can't say that I, strategically located my purpose and stepped into it. It really came upon me in the sense of there were certain gifts I had, certain things I enjoyed doing, and I found something that I could exercise those things within and still make money. So even over the course of my life, my career has shifted a couple of times. I worked at a newspaper for a while. But it was the type of job where I got to go out and meet people and do sales and everything. So I interacted with people. And then when I finished school, of course, I was in advertising for many years. So I was an art director, writer, producer, which utilized all of my gift sets, singing, writing, all of the visual art stuff that I love doing. So I just felt like I was just the luckiest woman on earth that I got to do all the stuff that I like doing and got paid for it at the same time. Somebody said that, someone asked a preacher, how do you know when you're supposed to preach? And he said, when you can't do anything else. And I think that a lot of people go to work every day just to get a check, but they're not doing what they enjoy, and they end up being pretty miserable people. So I think that the key to success and fulfillment is first locating your gift. What is it that I'm passionate about doing? What do I enjoy doing? What wakes me up in the morning? What makes my eyes light up when people want to talk about it? Okay, how do I take that thing and now utilize it in a way that blesses other people, but also takes care of me? And I think that is the blend that you have to have in order to have fulfillment with purpose.
And I heard somebody also say that it's often the thing that you just take it for granted because it comes so naturally to you and it is so easy for you that you think because it's so easy it can't be your gift, that there has to be some struggle involved.
Well, that's why it's called a gift, because it comes so easy to you. It doesn't come easy to anybody else. Nobody can do you like you do you. You know what I mean? I write 3 books a year. The average person cannot write 1 book in 10 years. So obviously it is my gift. It is something that just flows out of me. There's no angst, there's no struggle to produce a manuscript for me. It is my gift. Now, I'm very involved and interested in people's relationships. Even when no one wanted my advice, I happily gave it. And now people pay for my advice. So how fabulous is that? It is my purpose. I live to change people's lives. So I know my purpose. And I think that when people stop and go, what is it that resonates inside of me that gives me a sense of well-being? Like when I went to bed at night, I was so happy and satisfied because I did this thing and somebody was blessed for it. That is it. We are created to live the purposeful life. We spend a lot of time looking for the person, but not enough time looking for the purpose.
Well, let's move on to looking for the person, because that is, kind of how you got it started, and you really kind of set the bar for people now writing about being happily single. I mean, you've written at least 7 books on just being a single woman and being happy. So what do you say to those women who are still like, I gotta find a man, I gotta find a man, I gotta find a man? And my question is how do you know when you're supposed to be single and that's what God wants in your life because that somehow is your ministry and you just can't find a man? Because there's a lot of single women out there that are like, this is not my, I don't want to be here.
Including me. You know, I mean, I don't think that it's my gift. I don't think I have the gift of singleness. And I've gone through long periods of time where I didn't care if I had a man in my life or not. Too much stuff was going on. There was no room for him in my schedule, in my closet, or anywhere else in my life. And I think that we go through seasons of that. I'm now much more open to having someone in my life. My life is more conducive to having room for a relationship at this point. So, yeah, now I'm kind of like, okay, come on now. Where are you? You know, but not to the sense where it runs me. I think that it's okay to have a desire for someone in your life, but the desire should not have you. It should not control you. It should not control the choices you make for your life. It should not cause you to compromise simply because you're desperate to finally grasp this person in your life. You know, I always tell single women, I'm not telling you to say you don't need a man, because yes, you do need a man. I mean, God made us to need one another. He made us to be very interrelational people. So that longing is a very natural desire. And, you know, I've had a lot of conversations with this with, you know, my sis, Sophia Nelson, you know, our bud, and a couple of other people. We just talked about why is it such a struggle, even as we get older, in this area. And I could have concluded it's just not normal for us to be by ourselves. I mean, if we look at scripture and look at the times when people got together, they left their parents' home to go to their mate's home. So they never had to deal with the issues that we're dealing with now. And so because of this world that we're in, that, you know, sin abounds and lifestyles are all over the place and different alternatives that you can live, it's become harder to navigate, I think, as a woman who is just wants to just do the right thing, find the right partner, be a good partner, and settle down. So I say in the meantime, don't get the attitude that you don't need a man. Yes, you need a man. We all need each other. Do you want one? Sure. And if you want one, then there are just certain things that you need to do to set healthy boundaries for yourself so that you're still a whole, happy, well-rounded woman when that man enters your life, and you literally set yourself up to attract the love you want. So for me, it's about you being fulfilled, being whole where you are, so that you're an attractive package when the right guy walks by.
Another thing that I was reading, I have so many questions. I was reading another book of yours, and I think one of the things that a lot of women struggle with, especially like career women that are in mainly male-dominated fields of work, is the idea of submission. And one thing that I hadn't realized until I read your book is that not only, and you can correct how I say this, I might not say it exactly the way that it should be said, but not only are we supposed to be submissive, I guess, to the men in our lives on a personal level, but that extends also to the workplace at times. And then your relationship, obviously, with God. So explain a little bit about that, because I was like, I had to sit back.
Well, you know, it says that wives should submit to their own husbands. I stress their own, not somebody else's husband.
Right.
But also, we are to submit to those in government who are in authority over us, and also in the workplace, our employers. Now, when we talk about that kind of submission, what we're talking about really is respecting authority, period. It's not, you know, you rolling over and being a doormat or anything. It is literally allowing people to function at the level that they've been placed into your life. And in the workplace, your employer is your boss. You know, you can't go cuss out your boss and not listen to him and not do what she tells you to do. He or she is in a place of authority, and you have to yield to that authority. And if you don't, you will have problems. Probably get fired at some point. But, you know, then there's government. There are rules that government has set in place, so we also must submit to government. We should submit to our pastor as our spiritual head, not in the sense that you are a spiritual idiot and don't know the word of God for yourself and you drink Kool-Aid. No, that's not what I'm saying. But honoring him in the position that he's in, make sure that he has integrity and walks according to the word himself before you ever listen to anything he has to say. And, you know, be smart enough to know the word for yourself and cross-check that But when it comes to your personal life, that husband is supposed to cover you. He's supposed to protect you. You are now a power team with a man. And so how does a team win a game? They cooperate. They know their roles. They know which positions they play. They've agreed on those positions, okay? So the forward and the guard know what each other does, and they do it well, and they're not stepping on each other's toes in a basketball game or a football game. And when we see it that way, we see submission as a very powerful thing that actually puts us in position to be blessed. It puts us in position to win as a team together in our relationship, In the dating process, I think that's a good time to check that man out and say, is this a man I can submit to? If he's an idiot and doesn't make wise choices, you don't want to live your life with him, So you should be checking out how his decision-making process works in the dating arena to see, is this a man that I can follow? Is this a man I can cooperate with? Because what we don't want to do is emasculate the man in our life, make him feel less than, make him feel like he's not a man, and that he doesn't have any power to cover you and protect you the way he's been wired to by God. So we get to pick that man, and we have to be very active in our decision of watching how they operate in their lives to say, do I respect this person? Do I respect their ability to make decisions?
And I think that, I think that it changed the way I approach things, especially at work. And I think that I found that it makes for a lot smoother working relationship. Because, as women, even though sometimes we appear to be submitting, we can work things out, that it's actually more in our favor. But when you fight against the system, I guess it doesn't work out so well.
I had a boss that I was just always doing my own thing. And I think I just drove that poor woman crazy. She got to the point she didn't even like seeing me walk down the hall. And God really had to deal with me about it. And so I got to the point where everything that I did, I submitted it to her. And the interesting thing was, after I did that, she released me to do whatever I wanted to. At some point, she said, Michelle, just go do what you want to do. I mean, you got this. And I was like, really? She just wanted to know that I respected her position. And until then, she just gave me the beat down. And I brought it on myself, a lot of the problems that I was having with my boss, because I was in a state of rebellion.
Yeah, it's something. And I just, I just appreciated that because, like I said, it's just a different way of thinking. I mean, you think that you have to come in, at home maybe is one thing, but when you come to work, you have to come in with a certain mindset that, nobody's going to tell me what to do and everybody's fighting for their place, and when you submit to order, then it kind of works out.
Yeah, it's true. It makes life a lot smoother. Things open up and move a lot better. It is, the bottom line is God of order. And so everybody can't be an Indian chief. There have to be the chiefs and the followers. And in the kitchen, you can only have one chef. And so that's okay. I think that when we see the power of knowing our positions, as in theater, they say there are no small parts, only small actors. If we understand that each part is no less significant than the other, then we focus on how we bring and add power to the relationship in the position that we're in. Women are very powerful. Man has been given the authority within the relationship, but women have a much more powerful than authority called influence, because influence is more powerful than authority, actually. I mean, God has ultimate authority. Think about it this way. Yet our hearts influence us to not obey him all the time. He's got authority, but is everybody doing what God says? No, because our heart influences us to do other things. And so the woman has the gift of influence, and she gets to make a major impact in her home, at the office, in her community, in the world, because of the power she wields with just a lifted eyebrow sometimes. We don't have to say much sometimes to have things done. So it's very, very important for us to understand that gift and use it properly. In Ghana, they have a saying that the man is the head, but the woman is the neck. And wherever the neck turns, the head
has to go. The head has to go. Yeah.
So turn it right.
So what is the next book?
The next book is The Real Deal on Love and Men that I'm working on. I'm turning that in like another week. So it's been fun. I'm dealing with people's letters and questions. And so it's on all the hot button topics. It's more of a topical type of book where I'm hitting on a lot of different topics that we discuss and just keeping it real and answering people's mail that other people that are reading the book will be able to relate to. And I have a new release out called How I Get the Best Out of Your Man. So
I'll have to pick that one up. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. Give everybody your website so that they can follow you. I get so many compliments. Remember the beaded iPad case that I got last time you were? Oh, people love it. People love it. So give out your website.
I'm still working with her to do more of those. She's a really great artist. She does fabulous bags too. But my website is michellehammond.com.
Well, I appreciate you for always being there when I call or tweet. I love you. I know I have got to get to Ghana. I've got to get to Ghana. I love it. And I love you.
Some things from here.
You what?
I said, come, bring the camera. We can do some things from here.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Well, you take care. MichelleHammond.com is the website, and her name is Michelle Mckinney Hammond. You can look her up on Amazon, also buy all her books, all 40, well, soon to be 41 of them. I appreciate you.
Okay, take care. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.